Hi, Irene Diamond. Many refer to me as therapist, tour guide to success. So I'm just doing this quick little strategy of the week for you, as I like to do. And this is on sliding scale. Should you offer your services at a sliding scale as opposed to creating a rate that you feel is appropriate for your services and charging that rate? Now, many therapists have written to me and they say, well, in this economy, Irene, a lot of people can't afford my services, so I'm concerned and I want to be able to make it affordable. And I tell you what, that's admirable and I totally get it. However, here's the however. You need to know what the value is that you provide. And you need to think about it. You know, it's not an easy decision. A lot of therapists are what I call a little wishy-washy. So if you are wishy-washy about the actual value that you provide to your clients, I need you to take some time to really think about it. Once you have come up with a rate that you feel is fair and just, and a rate that the clients will walk away saying, wow, that was completely worth it. Now remember, worth it in money as well as worth it in their time. So when your clients leave, they need to be able to walk out that door and think to themselves, that was so worth it. So whatever that rate is, now obviously you could say $10 and they're going to of course say that was so worth it. So you have to be realistic. But once you come up with a value for your service, then and only then can you choose to discount your services for people who actually really need your discounted services, or even you can choose to gift them the service, meaning give it to them for free and not charge for it. So again, you can't really do that until and unless you've come up with a value for your own service. So say, for example, you charge $100 for an hour massage or an hour of your therapy or a therapy session if you follow my instructions and don't charge by time. So let's just say you charge $100. Now somebody comes to you and maybe they don't have a job, or maybe they've have a sick child in the hospital and need some accommodations. Then you have the luxury of being able to say, well, I can understand your situation and I would like to volunteer my services, or I would like to donate half of my cost to you. So by creating the price first and knowing what that is, that allows you the freedom to be able to then discount or donate your services. However, when you're leaving it completely arbitrary up to the client to make that decision, that's where therapists get in trouble. And that's where your business is so rocky, because you don't have a true value for your service. So the client has nothing to base what they are going to pay you on. And I learned this lesson. I'll tell you a story, funny story. When I first started, again, everybody in my massage school advised us to have a sliding scale. So of course I thought that's what I needed to do. So I had a sliding scale, and maybe it was like my third client in my whole entire career. He was a lawyer, a very high-powered lawyer, and he asked me at the end of the session what my rate was. And I, hemmed and hawed and was quite wishy-washy and told him, well, I think it's $45, but really whatever you can afford. Now $45, because this was 23 years ago. And he looked at me and he said, Irene, if you don't value your own worth, then no one else will. And that was the best advice he ever gave me. So I said, well, I don't know how much to charge for my services. And he said, well, come up with a number right now with what you feel I got and what you feel would be fair for you to be compensated. So I think I might have said like 45 or 65 or something like that. And he paid me 65 because, of course, he was on the higher end of my sliding scale. But his message to me was so clear. If I don't value my own self-worth, then no one else will. So that's my advice to you. And I followed that advice over the last 23 years, and I've taught it to many therapists as well. And they end up with much better success once they start understanding how to position themselves with a fair value for their service. Then you have the luxury, because you're being paid what you're worth, you then have the luxury of being able to say to someone, if you'd like, I can donate my service, or I can volunteer my service, or I can give you half price on that service, right? That gives you the freedom to make the decision. then you're running your business, not your clients running your business. So again, this is Irene Diamond. Hopefully you found this strategy to be helpful for you. It takes a little bit of thinking at the beginning. It takes a little bit of guts, but I know you can do it. And if you'd like this video, please do send your friends over so they can read it and learn from me as well. And of course, if you are posting this on social media, please be sure to like it and spread the word. All right, thanks again. Irene Diamond signing off, successfulmassagetherapist.org.